All right, ladies and gentlemen, we hear that sound every week. We do our NFL Stone Cold Lead Pipe Locks, and just to let everybody know how we're doing, last week was a rough week. We kind of took a bath overall. It was just a nightmare. I'm not even going to go into the records, but I will say, despite the bad week, Mongo, you actually rose to the top of the ranks. You are 52nd nationally, so every single professional sports writer, game handicapper, whatever you want to say, that's registered on NFL Pick Watch. So everybody from ESPN, CBS, NFL Network, Bleacher Report, whoever, you're number 52. Mr. Brown, you're right there at 55. Biggie, you're 160. Turbo, who's not with us though, is 137, and I am bringing up the rear at 191. I have a record of 43-60. It is just absolutely terrible. But Mongo, Mr. Brown, you guys are both 54 wins in, but one of y'all forgot to pick a game one week, so it's a little off. But either way, you guys have winning records. Congratulations. We're doing good. How are you guys feeling about this week?
Well, it's got to be better than last week. So
That's an understatement.
Things are looking up. Back to you, Chad.
How about this game? We got the Thursday night game in the background. The Bucs on the road to where nobody circles the wagons, quite like the Buffalo Bills. How would you guys rate this game so far? What is it, 24-10? Is that the score?
That's what it is. In
With
the third quarter.
With the Bills driving.
The Bills are driving, and so I'm just going to go and tell you, it was a big spread. I took the Bucs to cover. Was I a moron? It seems like that. Did you guys also take the Bucs? Anybody take the Bills?
I took the Bucs to cover 9.5.
9.5 is a big spread. And you said it went to 10 after we were
Yeah, I
done.
went Bucs as well.
Mongo?
I took the Buffalo Bills.
Well, that's why you're first out of us, right? Because you know how to pick these damn games. But without further ado, you guys ready to get through these picks?
I want to hear Mongo's Lone Wolf.
You want to do? Oh, it is a lone wolf, a Thursday night lone wolf.
Yeah. What does a buffalo sound like?
You want to do some Silence of the Lambs or something, or?
That sounds very buffalo.
That is a wounded buffalo. That is the sound the animal made in Star Wars when they cut it open to live inside of it on Hoth so they wouldn't die.
Ladies and gentlemen,
That's what I was going to say. That was right before it lost its heart.
that was halfway between the sound of a cow and a horse.
That's yours. All right. So now that we got that out of the way, let's see how many lone wolves we can get. There's 4 of us here. Turbo's with us in spirit, although he did stop by briefly. But we stayed up late to get these picks in. So we're approaching 11 p.m. here on the East Coast, but we got games to pick. So let's just start it off. I don't think we have any Europe games, do we? Everything's in stateside this week?
Stateside, America.
All right, so no weird things to worry about there. But let's go to the first game on the docket. The Los Angeles Rams on the road to Dallas, coming off a bye week. 57% of the money is on the Rams, who are a 6-point dog.
You know what's weird about this game is I feel like they've already played once this year. It was a home game for Dallas. Oh, that's right. They played the Los Angeles Chargers, and it was a home game for them on Monday night. They took a bye week after that, and that bye week wasn't long enough for them to realize that Dak is not the guy, and they should try to switch to Trey Lance, and they'll still suck. Tony Pollard's been bad. Mike McCarthy, he's still trying to figure out if he calls a timeout, if it's first down, is it third down. Who's my offensive coordinator? How do I wipe my butt? Give me the resurgent Rams, Cooper Kupp, Pacquiao. Stafford's looking great. They don't only cover to get the W.
Ooh. I think everything you just said to the opposite.
Ooh.
Dak and the boys there in Dallas, they have to. Because I need it financially, okay? That's all I'm going to say. 1-800-GAMBLER.
You can financially want the Rams. It's okay, man. He's taking the bet the dog.
Kerwin Williams is out for the Rams. I don't think they can run the ball on Dallas. I think it's going to give them a little bit of trouble passing as well. So I'm picking Dallas.
I'm also taking Dallas. They're coming off the bye week. It's 6 points. And, everybody wants to talk about Sean Payton. Mike McCarthy is no different. They're the same damn coach. Neither of them are great. They got lucky to be around great quarterbacks. They're mediocre teams, but the Rams don't have enough. And Dallas coming off a bye week at home. Take them to cover. Biggie, you're lone wolfing on the first one out the gate here. What the
Is that what a Ram
What's that?
That was a
Now he's beating the table.
rapid ram.
You just made every turkey in town run this way.
Oh, I see some glowing eyes in the distance here in the dark. I don't want to turn around now. The best thing to do is just move on. We got a classic NFC North rivalry. The Minnesota Vikings going into Lambeau, coming off a bad loss to the Broncos. Are they that bad? I don't know. Vegas seems to like the Vikings, who are a 1.5-point favorite on the road. 81% of the money coming in on the Vikes.
And that 81% of the money is going to be winner money. Green Bay Packers coming off a bye week into Denver, one of the worst teams in the league. 1.5-point spread. Couldn't win that game. Do you notice which watch that game? Off a bye week, 6 weeks into being the starter, Jordan Love. They don't trust him to throw the football. Christian Watson's a bum. As Gallo told you earlier, he wants him to be more of a fighter. Go after that ball. Minnesota Vikings have new life. From going from tanking for Caleb Williams to 2 straight wins, now they think they could possibly be a playoff team. Give me a fighting Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, I'm going right there with you on the Vikings. I feel like this spread of 1.5 could have been 6, and I would have still picked the Vikings.
I feel like if the Packers had a running game, I would look at this.
They don't.
But I'm with you on the Vikings.
Yeah, I think this is a slam dunk. What I say, 81%? Like, that's not changing. I think it might be 90% by the time the game comes out Sunday, because this is Thursday evening. But Kirk Cousins still shows he's got what it takes to win, even in prime time when everybody says he can't. Green Bay's not prime time. They are they're not good. So yeah, Vikings all day long. We're across the board on that. All right, the Atlanta Falcons, who everybody's mad at for lying about injury reports last week, they go on the road to Tennessee. Who's got a running back by committee now. I don't know what's happening down here. I think Malik Willis is the starting quarterback for the Titans.
He is. Ryan Tannehill's injured but does need surgery.
All right, so the Falcons are a road favorite by 3, but 59% of the money is coming in on the Titans.
And so am I. Give me the fighting Mike Vrabel. As I've told you before, the Falcons are a team you don't bet on. Who's healthy, who's going to play, who's not going to play. Arthur Smith doesn't know it. He's living on his daddy's FedEx money. He's playing mad. Give me the Titans with a little bit of fresh blood at the controls, and the fact they're willing to trade Derrick Henry tells me just how pitiful former Houston Oilers are.
Wait, did you take the Titans, though?
Yes.
Yeah, that didn't make sense at all.
Yeah, I was like, what happened
He
here?
just talked about how pitiful they
Uno
are.
reversal. They're playing the Falcons. You know I can't pick them.
Oh, wow. I was so lost down there. Anyways.
he took.
Whoop!
Yeah,
What
so-
did you just say?
I'm going with Titans as well. I feel like you want to talk about a committee at running back. Guess what? He's still gonna eat at home, and I can't believe they're the underdog in this game. Give me the Titans all day.
Benji doesn't have a headache this week. I don't know.
Benji.
Yeah, Benet or whatever his name is. I don't know. I think there was a murder mystery about him.
Bijan Robinson.
In the 90s. So I feel like that the Titans, I don't know if you heard, but the plan is to play both quarterbacks. Well, Levi's going to play as well, Mr. Mayonnaise. So, given the fact that we don't know what we're going to see, I'm going to go with the Falcons.
I know exactly what we're going to see. I've seen Malik Willis play quarterback. He's not good. For all the hate you guys are giving Ritter, he's twice the player that any quarterback under center for Tennessee is going to be this week. I know it's a road game, but the Falcons take this one by 7. They're going to go in there and do the job. The Titans, they're selling off the farm. It's time to move on. Where does Derrick Henry play at the end of the year? Is he going to be in Tennessee?
He's going to be a Buffalo Bill,
Exactly. It's not going to be.
and they still wouldn't run him.
And they still won't run it. Maybe they will in the playoffs. But, all right, we're split on that one. So let's move on to New Orleans. Going into the Colts, we know the Colts are going with Gardner Minshew. 69% of the money is on Indianapolis, even though they're the dog, 1.5-point dog at home.
This pick hurts for me because I picked the Saints to win division. I like what they did bringing in Derek Carr. I got Alvin Kamara on my fantasy team. But the fact of the matter is this. Dennis Allen, the head coach of the New Orleans Saints, has coached 60 games in his career. Do you know what his record is?
Is it under 500?
It's 18-42.
That's bad. That's bad, ladies and gentlemen.
Give me the resurgent Colts. JT, 3 years, $42 million. Minshew Magic, rookie head coach. Got a nice vibe going. Take the Colts for the win.
I've seen Derek Carr for more than I would like to say I've seen him in my life, and this is who Derek Carr is. He's going to always be the quarterback who just had great skill, like assets, but didn't capitalize on it. He's like the Billy Bean.
Billy B.
I like what you
Big
did
prospect, but not a.
Anyways, I hate Derek Carr and David Carr and all the cars. And
I even hate Ford and Chevy.
Trucks too. Fuck you, Van.
I hate minivans.
I'm going with the Colts because guess what? Jonathan Taylor went on a rampage last week, and it's going to continue this week, brother.
Semi trucks, you too. Get out of here. I'm gonna go the opposite direction as you. I feel like David, whichever car, I don't know who's playing it.
Austin Carr.
One of those cars. By the way,
NL car.
69% of the money is on the Colts.
Thank you. I forgot that.
That's okay. That's what I'm here for.
Appreciate you, Mongo.
I think Carr starts to gel more with the receivers week by week. He looks better this week. He beats Minshew Magic, who has a pretty good game against the Saints defense, but Carr still pulls it off.
I think the Colts are just a below average team, and the Saints are an average team. So for that, it's pretty much a pick 'em at 1.5. I hate taking road teams, but road teams have played really well against the spread this year so far. So give me the Saints. I think it's going to be like a 17-12 game. It's going to be ugly as ass.
Oh, we split again.
We're split again.
I thought so.
That's going to be interesting when the standings come out. Let's see. This is a big ass spread, and I feel like we all know what to do here. But let's see what happens. New England coming off the biggest win of the season last week. They are still a dog of 9.5 points going into South Beach, Miami. They are getting 63% of the Vegas money, though, being that 9.5 point home favorite.
And this is the type of game the Dolphins like. They're playing a team that's not any good, so they'll go out and look good. They can't beat the good teams. We discussed that earlier. Where are the Patriots this week? In Miami. What happened last week when they beat the Bills? Bill Belichick got his 300th career win. He does not get 301 this week. Hammer the Dolphins.
Ooh.
Not the mortgage, but maybe the car payment.
No homer alert there.
Oh, I'm definitely going Dolphins. This could have been 13.5, and I'd have been fine taking it. You played your best game of the year last week, and so just turn the team.
I don't like the spread. It's a bit much, but I think the Patriots premature ejaculated against the Bills last week. I picked the Dolphins to cover.
The Patriots did shoot their wad all at once. It's done. There's nothing left in the tank. We're all right here. The Dolphins just run away with this. This is a get-right game for them to where we feel like the Dolphins are going to be better. But to Big E's point, they're whipping up on a team that's just not very good. And 63% of the money's right in this case. So Dolphins all day long. All right, let's go to the Battle of New York. New York versus New York. The home team is a 3-point dog, and the away team is a 3-point favorite. I don't know what the hell that means. Do they change locker rooms when this happens?
I think that's about all that happens. If I were these teams, I want this to be a road game for myself because you're still playing at home.
So the Jets technically are the favorite. 3 points, 72% of the money is on the Jets. Jets.
So if they're technically the road team or the 3-point favorite, Vegas thinks they're a 6-point favorite. They're coming off a bye week and a nice win in Denver. I'm telling you, if you look at the numbers, this is how it works. Now, the Giants are a lot better team with Tyrod Taylor at quarterback, and if you were to come out and win this game, look good again, maybe Danny Dimes doesn't make it back under center, but they don't win this game. I'm not saying he gets jabbed in the lung before it starts, but he might as well because the Jets are on a roll. They win by a tutty.
So I'm looking at these two New York franchises. You have one, the Jets, who show direction and a plan. You have the Giants. No one knows what the hell their plan is. So it's clear to me. Even with Aaron Rodgers going down, I feel so much better about the Jets' direction. I think the Jets win by 7.
I would take Tyrod Taylor with a punctured lung over Daniel Jones. Taking the Giants.
You're taking the Giants. That's
Taking the
interesting.
Giants.
You're a lone wolf, pal. I'm taking the Jets. To everything Mr. Brown and Biggie said, the Jets are a better overall team. They're showing fight. They're showing moxie. And, Stifler's mom is out there. And Zach Wilson's playing pretty good. You can see the little rub he's getting from Aaron Rodgers. It's kind of nice. And, what happens if Rodgers is able to make a miracle comeback? The Jets are playing like they're trying to make the playoffs. The Giants are playing like they want to draft the number 1 pick.
I think Aaron Rodgers and Zach Wilson should battle like they do in Wakanda to see who the quarterback is.
Let's get a waterfall and a cliff.
Are
and
you
all
not
kinds of-
entertained?
That's gotta happen.
All right, lone wolf.
All right, so I've had 30 seconds to think about this, what the lone wolf
Do you
would
need
be,
help?
what a giant sounds like. So I'm going to go 3, 5, 4, 5. I smell the blood of an Englishman.
That's what Giants say. All right, the Jaguars on the road to Turbo Tommy's Pittsburgh Steelers. 65% of the money in Vegas coming in on the Jags, who is a 2.5-point road favorite. I'm just going to say for the record, this is my least favorite game to pick this week.
I agree with you there. Little hands Kenny Pickett and the Steelers somehow look good when they shouldn't look good. They're really nice in the second half. Defense is amazing, but they rely way too much on TJ Watt. You know the thing I like most about this game? Jaguars started season 1 and 2. Are they going to be that team with that? They'd win 12, 13 games. They go to their de facto home over in London. Since then, they've won 4 straight. They're coming off a mini-bye. Last time they played was Thursday night down New Orleans. This is a short flight from Jacksonville, front of the sun. They win by 7.
I'm right with you on the Jags. I feel like everyone wants to talk about Trevor Lawrence, but no one wants to talk about how good the running game's been.
ETN.
Dude, he's killing it. And this is the time of year where we see in the season who's separating themselves. And the Jags are starting doing that right now. So I'm taking the Jags in a big way.
I disagree with both of you. ETN is averaging like 60 yards a game rushing.
Yeah, but he's a good fantasy player. He's getting in the end zone.
Scoring a couple touchdowns. And Trevor Lawrence, he's throwing for less than 200 yards a game. You know, it's like him and Jordan Love in the same category. How's Jordan Love doing this year? If we look over at the Steelers, however, as Biggie mentioned, it's a hard game to pick because if we look over at the Steelers, they are a 5-2 team that has been outscored by over 30 points in just 7 games. So
that was week 1.
Yeah.
The Niners.
Well, they got killed by the Texans, too.
Oh, they did.
And
what teams to lose to?
And the games they've won, they've all been close. So it's like it's a race to see who's faster, and they both lose, in my opinion. But and they're both 5-2 teams.
All right, pick a team.
I'm going with the Steelers.
After all that. All right. I'm going to throw some logic out here. I'm also taking the Steelers just because the Jaguars aren't quite there. They always seem to play these games really close, even the ones they win. To Mongo's point, Pittsburgh plays a lot of the games they win really close. And honestly, my picks are terrible. I'm hoping if I pick the Steelers, it just means they lose because I need them to lose an AFC North game here to drop in the division. So I'm taking the Steelers, but I really, it's a coin flip. I think this is going to be a low-scoring, close game. Just for sentimental reasons, I need the Steelers to lose, so I'm taking them to win. We're split, right?
Yes.
All right. So we're still on the 1 o'clock window. Philadelphia going into the NFC East rival, the Washington Commies. 77% of the money on the Eagles. They're a 7-point road favorite.
This should be one of the tougher games to pick with the fact that when they played in Philadelphia 3 weeks ago, the Redskins made a nice comeback. Sorry, Commanders, Washington, whatever you want to call them.
We know what you mean.
Took the game to overtime. That doesn't happen this week. The Eagles played really well last week. It was the first time I felt like A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts have been on the same wavelength, even though the numbers have looked better over the last 4. 125 yards in each game for A.J. Brown. The Eagles are catching their stride. Washington is losing a step. I think the Eagles go in there and blitz them.
I agree 100%. I think the Eagles win by like 14-17 here.
Yep, artists formerly known as Redskins are going down by more than 7. I'm picking the Eagles.
This is going to be like the Ravens at the Lions last week. I think the Eagles just freaking destroy them. They're going in 2 opposite directions, and all of a sudden now the rhetoric on Eric Bieniemy is going to be he's not that guy, and it's not his fault.
And I hate that for him.
They're just not a good team, man.
I hate that for him.
You picked the wrong squad to go to. If they end up doing something good, he is making a name for himself, but let's be honest, that talent's not there, and it's not happening. Across the board on the Eagles. The Texans, still in the 1 o'clock window. They are going on the road to Carolina. 78%. This is crazy. 78% of the money on the Texans. Do you think you would get that this year? We're getting it because of C.J. Stroud and the Texans being a 3.5-point road favorite in Carolina.
Think about these 2 rookie quarterbacks matchups here. Go ahead, Biggs.
That choice is going to say 2 rookie quarterbacks at this point in the season. Bryce Young was supposed to be the undisputed number 1 pick, was going to hit hard. He's been a little injured, hasn't played well. He's supposed to have the better coach to help him out, Frank Reich. But what you said earlier in the other show about C.J. Stroud, just absolutely balling. I don't think he's had but 1 interception so far this year. He's looked good in every game he's played in, and this Texas team as a whole really fights. To me, this is one of the easier picks of the weeks. Texans to cover.
If you heard me earlier in the other show. You need to listen to that one. I'm not repeating myself. Give me the Texans.
Yeah, the Panthers are probably one of the worst teams in the NFL, and the Texans have just looked not so bad. So, as Biggie would say, Vegas expects Texans to win by at least 6.5, so I'm taking the Texans.
It's impossible to win by 6.5, but that does make sense to everybody listening, I'm sure. The Texans are winning this one. C.J. Stroud is the better quarterback. A lot of times when you pick games, take the better quarterback. Usually you're not wrong. So I'm riding that with you guys. We're across the board on the Texans. Let that sink in. We all picked the Texans to cover a spread.
On the road.
That's welcome to
Against the only
2023.
winless team in the NFL.
Yeah.
Wow.
How
All right.
average are the Texans against how bad?
That's exactly. All right, so the Browns, we're in the 4 o'clock window. They're making a trip out west to Seattle. The Browns, I think, are the most confusing team in the entire NFL. 61% of the money is on Seattle, 4 points at home for the Hawks.
Browns are another one of those teams looking at their quarterback like the Giants with Daniel Dimes, and they're like, geez, how can we get this money back? Why did we trade for this guy? He doesn't even want to play. It seemed like it's his decision to play, but he doesn't want to. They're rolling with P.J. Walker. Now, the thing about their starting quarterback, P.J. Walker, T-Bag beat him out in Chicago for the backup. That's why he's the starter in Cleveland right now. You just said the same thing. Pick the better starting quarterback. That's Geno Smith. The Seahawks are dynamite at home. I like them to win by 7-9. Give me the Fighting Genos.
You said 7-9.
7-9. He's going to win by 7-9. That's the final, 7-9.
Sorry.
No, the margin of victory.
Listen,
729
I'm going with the
points.
Browns here. Have you watched their defense play any lately?
Myles Garrett is a one-man show, baby.
Bro, it's one of the funnest teams to watch. They make things sloppy every single week. And I'm telling you, the Browns are going to go into Seattle with that crowd, and they're going to win this game by 6 points.
All right, so I think that the Browns are down to their third-string running back, Kareem Hunt, that they cut, and then only signed again because Chubb went down.
Still scoring, baby.
He is, but Ford isn't going to be. He was the replacement. He ain't going to be scoring. I think.
We've already established we hate all calls.
All right, shut up. Seahawks.
I'm also taking the Seahawks. Mr. Brown's a lone wolf on this one. I'm taking the better quarterback. I'm taking the West Coast 4 o'clock start. I'm taking the Seattle home environment. I'm taking the better quarterback. And I'm taking the fact that the Browns can't seem to do it back-to-back very often. They usually have a good game and a bad game. Hit us with the lone wolf, brother. Ooh, 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 ooh. That was the dog pound for all you amateurs out there. This is a surprisingly small spread in this next game. Maybe it's because it's in Denver, Mile High. The Broncos at home. 85% of the money riding the Taylor Swifties as the Chiefs are a 7-point road favorite.
I can't believe this isn't a bigger spread. This should be the biggest spread of the week. To me, it's the easiest one to pick, and I will be betting this game heavily.
The mortgage?
Mortgage is gone from last week.
Oh, that's right.
Oh.
Now it's just the kids' college tuition. Give me the Chiefs to cover.
I'm going Chiefs as well. Have you seen what happened since they've had Swifty in every freaking shot during their games? They haven't lost yet. So give me the
Is
Chiefs.
she going to be at this game?
I don't care.
That matters.
She's in all of them. Apparently, she's not a deep.
Travis Kelce has 60 more receiving yards per game in the game she's at versus when she's not.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Like, I bet there's a Vegas prop bet on how many over-under hugs between Swifty and Mrs. Mahomes.
Did you see their secret handshake?
They have one?
They have one. Have you not seen this? They have a secret handshake, and then there was one time they were doing it, Jackson tried to get in on it, and they're like, what?
Get out.
You know Britney's telling everybody, like, I'm best friends with Taylor Swift.
That's my bag.
So
Might.
One
Scissor me
week-
timbers.
1 week, Russell Wilson will be as good once as he ever was, but this ain't it. The Chiefs are getting hot, and it's a little early to be getting hot, but they're getting hot. They're going to be hot against the
hot.
Broncos. This
Hot barbecue.
The Chiefs.
Spicy.
So you said the Chiefs, right?
I said the chefs.
The chefs. Hungry, have a Snickers. Nobody remembers that commercial but us. All right, so I don't know if you knew this, but the Chiefs' defense is ranked higher than the Chiefs' offense.
First time in the Mahomes era.
That's not going to last, and that's not because the defense is bad, but the offense isn't even firing on all cylinders. What's going to happen when it does? How many passing yards did Mahomes have at halftime last week?
300.
Yeah, he was over 300. I think Denver is the worst team in the NFL. I think just occasionally they'll play another crappy team, and it makes you think there's a chance. This is not a crappy team. 85% of the money is right. Chiefs all day long. So we're across the board on that one, fellas. So let's go to the Battle of the Birds. 4:25 kickoff here in Arizona as the Cardinals are giving 9.5 up to the Ravens, who came off the best win of the season for them last week. 61% of the money is taking the Ravens to win by double digits.
I'm with the money on the Ravens. They were put up a very impressive performance last week, and Lamar Jackson went from being an MVP candidate to a bust back to an MVP candidate in the course of 4 weeks. If there's one team out there that will like to run the score up a little bit in these type of games, it is the Baltimore Ravens. And then you know what makes this an easier pick for me? Oh, in the same spot last week, I took the Cardinals to lose by at least 10, and they did, so I'm doing it again this week.
Rinse, lather, repeat.
So this is the exact type of team that Baltimore's going to jump on you quick and early and get it by 14 and never let the foot off the gas. They're going to roll here by like 21 points.
Unfortunately, Josh Dobbs this week is as good once as he's always been, and the Ravens are going to roll.
I can't add anything to it. I think this is a one-sided matchup, and I can't believe it's only 61% of the money on Baltimore. The Cardinals they flashed early as being as good as they're going to be all year in those first couple weeks, and that was it. So Ravens all day long. The Cardinals are the shitbirds this year. All right, big game. We got Brock Purdy in concussion protocol. The Bengals coming off a bye week. The game is in San Francisco. The Niners, this is the smallest spread they've had after losing a couple games here in a row. They're getting 4 points at home, 62% of the money following the Bengals on the road.
I love the money on the Bengals on the road coming off the bye week. San Francisco's in a little bit of a rut. The defense hasn't been playing quite as well, and that's what they've been falling back on for the last 2 or 3 seasons is that elite defense. It doesn't matter. They can win games 14-10. The offense doesn't have to show out. Brock Purdy out. Possibly Sam Darnold in with his first start in how many years?
2?
Maybe he started 1 game last year.
Yeah,
That's the point I was
know.
going with is he ain't bringing the swamp muster with him. Give me Joe Burrow and the Bengals for the W.
I'm taking the Bengals to win as well. Between Purdy and Burrow, I mean, I'm going with the better quarterback that's going to be there. Not to mention it might be Mr. Darnold. So I'm going with the Bengals to roll here.
Bengals defense has looked better over the past few weeks. The team as a whole has looked better. Even if it's Sam Darnold, I don't trust the USC quarterback, and I don't think Shanahan trusts him either. Even in a blowout game, he doesn't even come into play for a few plays at the end. I'm going with the Bengals.
I got to go with my home squad here. Who Day all day. They're going to get right coming off the bye. They've been really good off the bye under Zach Taylor, so I think they continue.
We across the board.
62% of the money's right. We're part of that. Go ahead and raise it to 64% because
yeah.
we're all across the board on the Bengals. This is the first time. I think every week we have picked the Niners to cover. All of us have. I don't think we've lone wolfed against the Niners at all this year. So this is the first time.
Fuck it. I'm switching to the Niners.
What?
There's gold in them there hills.
Wow. We'll allow it. That counts as the lone wolf. He's a prospector. All right,
Better
so
change it on there.
you better change it.
I changed
You
it.
can't do it emotionally
I
and not do it
changed it.
physically. I can't
changed
see
it.
his phone. He better lock it in.
It's
NFLPickWatch.com.
You lock it
Everybody
up.
check.
Walking up.
The Bears on the road to the Chargers. This is an interesting game. The Chargers are getting 8.5 at home. The Bears haven't been very good. We know who the quarterback is. It's not Justin Fields. It's our West Virginia boy. It's a close line for Vegas. 51% of the money is on the Chargers.
This is the favorite game of the week for me to pick, and it's going to be a fun game to watch. Typical Sunday night games, they book earlier in the year. You almost want to flex out of them because you know the Bears, they thought we were going to have Justin Fields and actually be good, but they're dog shit like usual. Tyler B. Agent, West Virginia boy, starting him in fantasy. That's how bad my team is. This is his coming out party. That Chargers defense under Brandon Staley, whose defensive mind is supposed to be good, is absolute dog shit. They will win this game. Tyler Baggett goes out, throws 3 20s, 300 yards. Bears cover.
Did you say 320 or 310?
3 Teddies.
Okay.
You said Bears cover?
Bears cover.
Bears cover.
All I'm going to say is I'm picking this strictly with my heart. And I'm going with the Bears. With the Bears to cover.
Wow. I'm emotional over that one.
Homer coming.
I feel that deep within my loins. Like a flaming golden hawk.
Is it warm? Flaming golden hawk.
Yeah, so even if the Chargers were to win, they're not blowing anybody out because they have good defense, and that includes against Mr. Bajonet. They're going to assign his dad to play linebacker and arm wrestle people. I'm picking the Bears.
Maybe he's going to do that Deacon Jones head slap with that big arm.
I mean, this could be legendary.
I also think it's too big of a spread. Vegas is split on it. I think you're seeing what's happening. 8.5 is a lot for a team that doesn't play defense. And Chicago, I wouldn't be surprised if they lose 31-3. Like, it could go that way, but I'm taking the Bears. Are we across the board on the Bears? What is wrong with us? Did we get broke last week from how bad the picks were? Oh, my God.
I just want to say I love you guys.
We're here for you, Mongo. All right, let's see if we're here for Mr. Brown and his Raiders on the road to the Lions, trying to bounce back after getting their ass whipped by the Ravens. This is the Monday night game in Detroit. 78% of the money's on them. 8.5-point home favorite.
So listen, I got to take this one first, obviously, with my Raiders. And you said, are you going to be there for Mr. Brown? Who the hell said Mr. Brown's going to be there for Mr. Brown? I'm taking the Lions because they just got their asses kicked. The Raiders coming in there, they're not the team that's going to, once they get their mouth punched, they're not going to fight back. The Raiders are going to lay down. The Lions are going to win by 21.
You know what I think when I think about this game on Monday night? I thank God the World Series starts Friday because they'll play Friday, Saturday, off Sunday. Monday night, I'll have something decent to watch. I won't even turn this game on. I'm with you. Lions by 2, 3, 4 touchdowns.
How is this the flex game? We get the Raiders at the Lions. I guess because the Lions are home.
ESPN needs to do a better job getting that TV situation figured out.
This is Sunday night. This is
Monday night.
Monday
is it? Yeah,
This is the
Monday.
last game. Not so fast, my friend. All right, I'm going to the Lions.
Mr. Brown, see, we are with you. We're all taking your Lions that you picked.
Yes.
So you went first. We knew what you were doing. We're there in solidarity.
Thanks,
We're trying to wish and push the Raiders into that number 1 draft pick so they can
bad draft.
so they can screw that up and draft Robert Gallery or
Alex
Jamarcus Russell,
Alex Leatherwood.
Alex Leatherwood, whoever it is.
If they're going to draft a clown, blow up and play them.
They could do that.
Yeah.
Or a panda.
Panda. My cum pants.
Sea panda. So yeah, I'm taking the Lions along with 78% of that money. I think they get right after that bad loss last week. All right, take a deep breath, guys. Let's see if we bounce back. That has concluded Are we in week 8? Is that what this is? Check the ticker here. Week 8, NFL Stone Cold Lead Pipe Locks. We're in the books. Let's see if we can get back to over 500 this week. 2 weeks ago, we had a really good run. Last week, not so much. But, we got a couple in the top 50.
Mongo's looking to take another lead here on Thursday night with his lone wolf.
But I'm where are we at? It's 4th and 8. This determines whether or not we cover it all. Probably Baker is sacked
And Mongo, the lone wolf covers most likely.
Wait, he could break all 4 of those tackles.
Wait, he could get up. You don't know
Wait,
what's
was it
going
down?
on.
There's a flag.
With this
Wait a minute.
officiating, you don't know what's going on.
We could. It's not the
Vegas made a
Chiefs.
call. They're calling a face mask.
Too far away from the end zone penalty.
They're not
Well,
quite.
he's got his helmet off. That's a flag. unless you
Yeah,
play
wait,
for
it's not the Chiefs. It's not the Chiefs. What's he saying? I don't know. Let's see what happens. Did he grab the... Oh, face mask! Yes! We're going to live to fight another day. If you guys want to keep listening to the podcast, we're going to see what happens here. There's only 3 minutes left. This is going to extend it, but I don't know. We really need the touchdown.
They got to go for the field goal.
Well, the field goal, what was it? It was 9.5.
Yeah, bro.
Field goal's not going to do it. It would for you.
That's
That's
exactly
why
right.
he's saying that.
That's exactly
He
right.
wants it to happen.
Yeah. So
Is that Ed Oliver? Who did that?
Ed Oliver.
Ed Oliver. He was a bad man at Houston.
Yeah.
Did you?
Here's what's going to happen. The Bucs are going to drive down. They're going to score, and then we're going to cover. And then all is one. Sorry, Mongo.
We're just waiting here with bated breath while this is taking place here. First down. Did you see the play from the Vikings game where they told T.J. Hawkinson to feign an injury, and the camera was on the coach, and they could see him clearly saying, "Stay down."
Baker's going deep.
Oh, man, that was right there.
That's a shame.
In the thing. What a throw.
That's a shame. That's a
What
shame.
a throw. You got to catch that, Mike
shame.
Evans.
Thought you were supposed to be all pro.
Man, he hit him right in the back of the end zone, man.
That's not a Hall of Fame catch.
No, it wasn't. Look at that little seam right there. Oh, double move on the safety.
It wasn't going to be that easy of a catch.
No, it was a hell of a hard, but he had it in his
Yeah,
hand.
that's still a tough catch.
Oh, that's a
His
very,
knees
very
would have been
hard
down
catch.
before he had control of it, too.
Yeah, he would have been out of bounds. But anyway, the Vikings were clearly on camera telling old boy to feign an injury to stop the clock.
I haven't heard anything about that since. Have you all?
No, I don't know if they really investigate that as much because I feel like everybody does that crap now. I did see a play in the college game where they were making a sub and the defense was changing out defensive linemen and going as slow as possible, and they got to delay a game because the refs wouldn't let them snap the ball. That rule's got to change.
I got a question for you, gentlemen. Okay, so it's your team.
It's 3rd and 10, by the way.
Your team. You're coming down to week 18, last game of the season, against your rival. If you win the game, you don't get the first pick in the draft. If you lose the game against your rival, you do get a first pick. What do you root for?
You lose.
It depends on who the draft pick is. If it's a clear lock for number 1 draft pick, that like he's
Taking everything.
like he's an Andrew Luck or somebody, yeah, I'm definitely, I'm cutting half my roster. I mean, I'm taking the L.
I've been wishing for the Raiders to lose for 2 decades.
Yeah, I mean,
You're talking about one pick.
that's logic. I mean,
Your wishes come true, my friend.
We keep getting them. We just don't know what to do with them.
Yeah. Let's draft your Marcus Russell.
well, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap up the show. It's 4th and 10. There's 2:51 left. They just called a timeout. I'm not going to keep dragging it out just for that. But if you're listening to this and the Bucs somehow managed to cover, I'm sure Scott Van Pelt's going to talk about it on his bad beats because there's no way this should be happening. But
4th and 10.
4th and 10, 2:51. That's where we're leaving you guys at. Make sure you follow us on NFL Pick Watch. Make sure if you have a gambling addiction,
1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-GAMBLER.net if you're not a phone.
What about .com?
that probably takes you to one of them porn sites.
Mm.
Yeah, you gotta know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to close your browser, delete your history. And make sure you listen to the main episode of the podcast so you can hear about Mongo's story about pooping at the ball. We're going to leave you with that. Thanks for listening to the We Don't Know Sports podcast. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the NFL games, and we'll see you next week. Until then, bye-bye.
Oh, yeah!
Wait! I didn't stop the recording yet. Mike Evans just caught a touchdown on 4th and 10. Are there any flags? What just happened? Oh, my God. Did he get it? Oh, bounced off his helmet into his lap. Controls it. We got the cover. Woo!